Hello and welcome to Bottoms Down Chair Yoga for Everyone. I'm Carol. I'm so glad you joined us today. Check out the sections on the Bottoms Down YouTube channel homepage, which make it easier to find classes by length or by purpose or by body area. And if you haven't already, please click that subscribe button. Don't forget it's free and we'd love to hear from you, so leave a comment. I've been getting a few more comments lately, and I really love hearing from you guys. I respond to all of them and incorporate all your suggestions as best that I can, so keep them coming. In today's practice, we'll explore poses for back pain. Yoga poses can help increase the strength and in the specific muscles and muscle groups, which can help you reduce back pain and maintain a healthy spine. So you will need your chair today and a yoga block. Now, if you don't have a yoga block, you can substitute a big book, or you can just do the class without it. All right, so we're going to sit up nice and tall in our chair. I like to move forward just a little bit so that I'm not leaning back, okay? So let's think about lengthening up through that spine. Have your hands lightly on the thighs. Flip those palms up. Go ahead and close your eyes and just breathe. Just taking a few moments here to connect to our breath. And let's go ahead and deepen that breath. So inhaling a little more deeply, exhaling a little more completely. And as you do that, see if you can inhale and exhale through the nose. And then also see if you can make your exhalation even longer than your inhalation. Just try that for a few more breaths. Bring your hands to your heart and set your intentions for today's practice. One more breath here. Let's go ahead and bring our hands down to our thighs and open our eyes. We're going to take our shoulders and we're going to roll them up towards our ears, and then we're going to bring them back and squeeze our shoulder blades back behind us, and then we're going to let those shoulders fall down, and then we're going to bring them forward. And let's do that again. Up we go, and squeeze, and down. And let's reverse those shoulder rolls. So we're going to squeeze behind first. Then we're going to bring them up into our ears. And then forward. And down. And let's do that again. Very methodical, right? Really consciously thinking about what you're doing. Shoulder rolls. And down. Very, very good. So we're going to let our right ear fall towards our shoulder. So just let that head fall over. A little stretch for the neck here. Now let's drop our chin towards our chest. And then we're going to let that left ear fall to the left shoulder. That should feel good. And drop that chin towards chest again. So I'm just looking down at my lap. Go ahead and look forward. Now this time we're going to do the same thing again, and if you want, we're going to clasp our hands behind our back. Now if that doesn't feel good to you, then you can just stay right here. But if it feels good, we're going to clasp our hands behind our back, kind of squeeze our shoulder blades behind us, and then do that same series. And it's just a little different stretch for the neck. So I'm letting that right ear fall to the right shoulder. Do you feel the difference? I do. All right, let's let that chin fall towards the chest, so I'm looking down at my lap. Don't lose the squeeze, though. Squeeze those shoulder blades if you're doing that. Okay, let's do the other side. Oh, my goodness. That's such a different feeling for me. Okay, let's do one more time looking down. Unclasp your hands and then release that head. Let's do another set of shoulder rolls. What do you think? I like it. And let's reverse it. Beautiful. Okay, so we're going to do a cat and a cow series. So To start with, for our cow pose, we're going to start with our hands at heart, lifting up through the spine. So nice and long spine. Remember, crown of the head to the ceiling. And then let's just open the throat. So it's not a big motion, right? It's not a big movement, but just a little bit of a movement through that spine. All right, now we're going to move into that cat pose. So we're going to pull our chin down towards our chest. Place your hands on your thighs. If you take those elbows wide, you might feel a little more stretch in the upper back, right? And that's the idea here, is a nice rounded spine. Okay, now we're going to lift the heart, and for this next cow pose, we're going to go ahead and take our thumbs and just let them move to the back wall. So you see how I'm kind of opening up through the chest? So it's a little more than here. Here I'm just opening through the throat, and here this is getting a little bit more opening through the chest. If that doesn't feel good to you, you're going to stay right here. All right, let's go ahead and round down into cat. Ha! Breathing here, just a couple more breaths, feeling that stretch. Now we're going to add the breath, okay? So we're going to inhale as we come into that cow pose, thumbs to the back wall, and exhale as we round down into cat pose. Inhale into cow. See if you can use that diaphragmatic breath. Exhale into cat. Can we do that one more time? Inhale into cow. Exhale into cat. And release. All right, excellent. So we're going to move into extended mountain. So our hands are going to come straight up to the ceiling. Shoulders are going to stay down. Belly is going to be tight. We're going to place our palms together over our head. Interlace your fingers, all right? Pointer finger is going to be up towards the ceiling. Now, we're just going to lean our mountain. And then we're going to turn and we're going to look up at the ceiling. Take the twist out. We're going to come all the way back up to the ceiling, and we're going to go to the other side. Lean your mountain the other way. Turn and look up at the ceiling. Maintain that tight abdominal muscles, right? So we maintain that belly button to spine. Take the twist out. Take those fingers back up to the ceiling and release. Okay, how does that feel, right? You can always roll those shoulders again if you want to. That's fine. Okay, we're going to move into a crescent lunge. So we're going to take our right knee and we're going to open it wide. Now we're going to let this left knee fall straight down towards the floor. Okay, so I'm on the chair. I'm holding onto that chair. That's fine. This knee is falling straight down to the floor. I'm looking out, and here's a beautiful crescent lunge. Now, if you want a little bit more, what you can do is push this foot back behind you just a little bit. Okay? So you might feel a little more stretch here in this hip flexor and your quadricep muscle. You would be surprised at how tight muscles through the quads, through the hip flexors, and through the hamstrings can pull into the back, right? So it's important that we stretch all of these muscles. So you'll see not only are we going to be doing, a lot of back work today, but we'll also be doing some hips, hamstrings, and hip flexors as well. Let's release that and do that again. I talked a long time, didn't I? Sorry. We held that one for quite a while. It's okay. One more breath. All right, let's release that and face forward. Excuse me. That same leg that we were just working, we're going to extend it out in front of us, and our toes are up to the ceiling, okay? Let's go ahead and place our hands on our thighs. The first thing we're going to do is extend through the spine. Again, crown of the head to the ceiling. I'm not looking up. That's pretty important. You'll hear me talk about that a bit today. So let's extend through the spine, pull the belly in, let that heart fall forward. So we keep our back flat in our pyramid pose, and that is giving us a nice hamstring stretch. Do you feel that? All right, we're going to tuck our chin and kind of roll it up. Okay, so that's a nice protection for the back. So if any time you want to tuck and roll back up, that gives that back, it just protects, right? It doesn't quite as much pressure on that. So let's do that one more time, just like that, and then we're going to add a little dynamic movement. So let's extend through the spine first. Let that heart fall forward, keeping the back flat. There's our pyramid pose, hamstring stretch. The other thing that's pretty important in this pyramid pose is that we keep our legs straight. You can have a micro bend to that knee, but the more you bend the knee, the less you're working stretching the entire series of muscles back behind that leg. And we really want to lengthen all of them. So let's keep that leg as straight as we can. Okay, you want to tuck the chin and roll up? I like that version too. Let's add a little bit of dynamic movement. So we're going to extend our hands up to the ceiling. Inhale here. Exhale, extend out, try to touch the wall in front of you, and then bring your hands down to your ankle or whatever works, right? It doesn't have to be your ankle, it can be your shin, it can be your knee. Doesn't matter. Keep your back flat, keep that leg straight. Let's roll it up, right? Take those hands up to the ceiling. Let's inhale here. Exhale out, try to touch the wall in front of you first, and then down we go. Hold it and breathe for 2 more breaths. 1 more breath, roll it up. Last time on this side, extend. And exhale as you lengthen out and bring that hand down to your leg. Wherever it works for you is fine. 1 more breath, let's roll it up. We're going to bend that knee and put that foot on the floor. Okay, how'd that feel? Are we ready to do the other side? Let's do it. Here we go. We're going to take that left knee and open it nice and wide, and then that other knee is going to fall down towards the floor, okay? And again, this could be your crescent lunge, and it's fine. Looking forward, hands resting on that thigh, hands can rest on the chair. If you think you have a little bit more, you're going to push this foot back just a little bit. I am still up on those toes, okay? I am still facing forward over that bent knee. My spine is long. Let's release it, and let's do that one more time. Here we go. Ha! Your abdominals stay nice and tight through this, right? Belly button to spine. 1 more breath and release. Beautiful. Okay, are we ready for pyramid pose? Extend that leg out in front of you. Lengthen through the spine. Let the heart fall forward. Remember, hold on to those thighs. That's fine, right? Keep the back flat. Keep the legs straight. I know, lots to think about. It's okay. All right, let's tuck our chin and roll it up. We're going to do just like that one more time. Extend, belly tight. Let that heart fall forward, keeping the back flat. And roll it up. Are we ready for that dynamic movement? Inhale as you extend up to the ceiling. Exhale as you come out towards the wall and down to your leg. Roll it up. Extend those hands up to the ceiling as you inhale, and exhale as you come down. Use that diaphragmatic breath if that works for you. Let's do it one more time. Up we go. Inhale. Exhale out, and down we go. Come back up to seated, and let's grab a sip of water. So if you're using your block, let's go ahead and grab that block and place it between our feet. If you're not using your block, don't worry about it. I'll show you how to use your legs for the same purpose. Okay, we're going to bring our hands to heart, and we're going to make a big circle. There's a beautiful sun all the way up to mountain pose, and bring our hands to our heart. Let's go ahead and come back up to mountain pose. We're going to make a big circle with those arms and bring our hands to our heart. We're going to do that one more time. Big circle, up we go, belly button to spine. Look up at those hands if that works for you. Bring your hands to heart. Up we go, big circle around, and bring those hands to heart. Okay, let's add the breath. Inhale as we come up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, up we go. Exhale, big circle around. All right, we're going to add on here. Inhale, up we go. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, up we go. Now, pull your belly in. Bring those arms by your side. Let your heart fall forward just a little bit. This is a forward salute with airplane arms. Now, in your forward salute, you're shooting your head forward and your seat back. So you're not just kind of hanging out here. It's a very active pose, okay? Shooting those fingers back and head forward. You're really activating the spine. You're working those back muscles. Belly is tight to protect that spine. One more breath. Bring your hands to heart. We're going to do that one more time before we add on. Here we go. Up we go. And hands to heart. We're going to come back up to that forward salute with airplane arms. We're going to stretch, lengthen through that spine. Belly is tight. Work it, work it, work it. Okay, we're going to add a forward fold. Place your forearms on your thighs, palms facing up, and let your heart fall forward. So this is a great version of forward fold. We will be adding on from here, but if you want to stay in this version of forward fold, your back is very supported, but you're still working those back muscles, right? We're still building the strength and the lengthening through those muscles. One more breath. Tuck your chin and roll it up. Okay. Now, if you're with me and you want to continue to add on, this sun salutation is really going to focus on that forward fold movement, which is where we're going to get some lengthening through the spine and some work into those muscles. So if you want to stay here, that's fine. If you want to work your hands down your legs, right, that's fine. My heart is coming forward and forward. If you have your block, you're going to have your hands on your block here. Then you're going to have your hands, see how I'm moving from position 3 to position 2 to position 1, and then remove the block. Okay, so I kind of wanted to give you a little, lay of the land of where we're headed, because I'm not going to be stopping to talk about it all. We're just going to be moving through. All right, are we ready? Remember, belly button to spine. Bring your hands to heart. Big circle, up we go. Bring your hands to your heart. Up we go. Forward salute, airplane arms, stretch it out. Place your forearms on those thighs for that forward fold. Let your heart fall forward. If you're so inclined, put your hands on the block and let the heart fall a little bit further. If you want to have your hands on your legs, it would be up here higher on towards the knees. Just hanging out and breathing. If it feels okay, tuck your chin and let your head fall. Even more stretch for the back. One more breath. We're going to roll it up to a seated position and bring your hands to heart. Let's do that again. Up we go. Bring your hands to heart. Here we go. Forward salute, airplane arms, stretch it out. Forward fold. Now for me personally, I'm going to go ahead and move my block down to the next position. Put my hands on that block. I'm going to let my head fall. I'm getting a little deeper stretch into that back. Maybe your hands, if you don't have a block, maybe your hands are down on your shins now. One more breath. Tuck the chin and roll it up. Now as you roll up, take your time, nice and slow. Let the blood kind of resettle before we move on. Ready? Hands to heart. Here we go. Circle it up. Bring your hands to heart. Up we go. Forward salute, airplane arms. Stretch. Forward fold. Okay. Your version. I'm going to move my block flatter. Place my hands on the block. I'm going to let my head fall. I'm going to tuck my chin. Belly is tight. One more breath. Tuck your chin and roll up nice and slow. Bring your hands up. Take just a moment. Final version. This is the final one. Bring your hands to your heart. Ready? Up we go. Bring your hands to your heart. Back to mountain pose. Forward salute with airplane arms. Stretch it out. Are we ready for that last forward fold? Let's do it. I'm going to remove my block and I'm going to have my hands on the floor. You do what version works for you. See if you can let your head fall. Tuck that chin. One more breath. Tuck your chin. Roll up really slowly. Make sure you're keeping that belly button to spine. Super tight abdominals. protects that low back. And release. Let's grab a sip of water. We're going to come to standing on the right side of our chair. I'm going to turn and let's everybody turn and face our chairs. So what you're going to do is we're going to start into a camel pose. We're going to place our hands right on each side of the spine. You can do your fists if that feels better for you, or you can do your palms. It's kind of right at the top of that big bone, so right in the small of the back. We're going to look over the seat of our chair and we're just simply going to push our hips forward. So if you're like me, I feel a nice stretch happening into that low back. Be very gentle here, okay? Just take your time, be super gentle. Feel that stretch. One more breath here. Now, as we come out of it, what we're going to do is we're going to place our hands into the seat of the chair. And we're just going to let our belly fall towards the chair, lift your heart, and then you're going to round the spine. So it's just a little cat and a cow, right? So a cat pose here, and then a cow pose there. So dropping the belly, lifting the heart, lifting the hips, and then pulling the belly button to the spine, rounding the shoulders, letting the head fall. All right, now just take your hands off the chair, go ahead and roll back up into a standing position. So we're going to continue with camel, adding on. So remember, you can keep doing what we were just doing. You don't ever have to add on, okay? So keep doing what feels good to you. If you're with me, though, we're going to have our hands here in each side of the spine, right in the small of the back. We're going to engage our abdominals, push the hips forward. Now keep your abdominals engaged, and you're going to look kind of a little bit higher than where the ceiling and the wall meet, just a little bit higher. So it's an additional stretch for the back. One more breath here. Pull your belly button to spine. Go ahead and come up to standing. Then you're going to let your hands fall back into the chair and do a cat and a cow. So let your belly fall, lift the heart, lift the hips, and pull the belly button to the spine and round. And go ahead and do that again. And go ahead and come back into that cat pose. And from your cat pose, you're going to take your hands off the chair and just roll it up. Okay? Excellent. So now, the next version of our camel pose. Turn your chair so that the back of the chair is facing you. Okay? Does that make sense? Now you're going to turn around. Again, remember, you've got those other versions, so keep doing those if that feels better for you. But if you're with me, I'm going to take a step away from my chair. I'm holding on to the back of that chair, right? I'm going to push my hips forward. My abdominals are super engaged. I'm going to push my hips forward. Do you see what's happening there? Now I'm holding onto the chair. Let's look up at the ceiling, and I've got just a little bit more of a camel pose. Just one more breath here. Pull your belly button in and go ahead and come up to a standing pose. Turn around, face your chair, step back, and let your heart fall forward, okay? So this is just a supported forward fold. It's the same idea as our cat and cow. And if you want to go ahead and drop the belly and lift the heart, and pull the belly button in and let the head fall, you can do that too. Come back to neutral spine. We're going to roll it up. We've got the final version, okay? Final camel pose. So I'm stepping away just a little bit from my chair. My abdominals are engaged, super engaged. I'm holding onto that chair. I'm going to begin to push my hips forward, and then I'm going to walk my hands down the chair, just whatever works for you. Looking up, squeezing your shoulder blades behind your back. Don't just release the neck though, right? So my neck is engaged. One more breath here. All right, abdominals super engaged. Walk yourself back up the chair. Come to standing. Turn around. Put your hands on the back of the chair. Let your heart fall forward. Into that forward fold. Remember, if you want to do the cat-cow movement with the back, go for it, if that feels good. And release. Let's go ahead and roll it up into a standing position. How did that feel? Was that good? I love camel pose. Okay, we're going to go ahead and turn our chair back around now. So we're going to move into an extended mountain. So I'm on the right side of my chair. I'm going to lengthen my fingertips up towards the ceiling. Shoulders stay down, belly is tight. All right? Lengthening up, trying to touch the ceiling with my fingertips. Now, I'm going to reach over with my right hand and grab my left wrist, and I'm going to lengthen again. And then I'm going to lean. Now, as I'm leaning, I'm pushing this opposite hip down, and I'm extending through that sideways. Do you feel that? One more breath. Let's come back up to center. Let's just grab the other wrist, lengthen, and lean. Leaning extended mountain. Ah, it feels good. I love this one. All right, up we go. Let's bring those hands down, take just a break. So because we're out of that little twist, right? So we're going to extend our mountain, then we're going to turn and look. It just adds a little bit of twist into that spine. If you don't want to do it, leave it out. Just do your extended mountain. All right, are we ready? Let's extend our mountains up. This time, let's start with that left hand grabbing the right wrist. Lengthen first and lean. Now, all I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my head. I'm going to look up at the ceiling, and that just gives you a little twist into that spine. You feel it? Let's take that twist out, back up to the ceiling. Let's grab the other side, lean, twist. Take the twist out, back up we go, and release. Very good. Okay, we're going to move into a quadruped. We're going to take a step back from our chair, okay? Hinge here, belly tight, protect that low back. And then we're going to place our hands in the chair. Now, bring your weight forward because we're going to leave our hands on the chair. We're not going to lift our hands up in this version of quadruped, okay? It's going to be our legs only. So I'm looking down at the chair so I have no wrinkles in my neck. I'm going to take my right leg and I'm going to extend it up behind me, okay? Standing knee can be soft. I want you to try to flex that foot and touch the wall behind you. So lengthening through that leg. Now bend your knee and you're going to bring that knee to that right elbow. Okay? And then you're going to press it back. Bring your knee between your hands. Flex the foot as you press it back. Bring the knee across your body to that opposite elbow. Push it back. Listen. Bring the knee between the hands. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take this foot, cross it back behind the other foot, place those toes on the mat, turn and look at those back toes. Okay? Nice stretch through the spine. A little side waist work as well. One more breath here. Let's go ahead and release that. Go ahead and roll up and take just a moment. We're going to do the other side, but we're going to stay on this side of the chair. It's fine. Okay? Here we go. Let's roll it down first. Hinging, belly's tight. Place your hands in the chair, bring your weight forward. Now remember, if this bothers your wrist, you can always be up on your fists, okay? It's always an option, keeping the wrist straight, okay? All right, my weight is forward. We're going to do the other leg, all right? So here we go. We're going to take that leg behind us, flex the foot, and then it's like you're trying to touch the wall behind you with that foot. So really lengthening through the hips. Belly stays tight, hips are stable. So what tends to want to happen is that hip kind of wants to hike up. Not want you to let that happen, okay? Use those abdominals and keep that leg long, hips square. Bend the knee, touch that left elbow, flex the foot and push that foot back behind you. Bring the knee between the hands, push that foot back behind you. Bring that knee across to the opposite elbow. Press back. All right, are we ready? Here's the change. Bring the knee between the hands. Now, you're going to take that leg. You're going to cross behind. Put that foot on the floor. You should feel a pretty good stretch. Now, we're going to turn and we're going to look at those back toes. We just have one more breath. All right, go ahead and face forward. Bring that leg around. Bend your knees. Roll up to a standing position. Let's have a seat. And grab a sip of water. Let's move forward in our chair and we're going to do some windshield wiper knees. If you want to hold on to the chair, that's great. So all we're going to do is we're going to let our knees fall. I got to come just a little bit further forward. Let our knees fall to the right. And then we're going to come center and let our knees fall the other way. So let's go ahead and come up center. The key to this one is the hips stay forward, okay? So do that again. Just windshield wiper knees and center and back and center. Okay, so now the add-on for this one, we're going to let our knees fall to the right, and then I'm going to take my foot and I'm going to place it on that knee, all right? So keeping the hips forward is where you're going to get the most stretch into those hips. Does that feel okay? This one, if you are so inclined and want to do this laying down on the flat on your back and do this version, boy, does it feel good on the back. It really does. One more breath. Let's come up, release that, and let's go to the other side. So we're going to let those knees fall to the left first. Bring your foot up and then just let that. So kind of the weight of this leg is giving you a little more stretch here. We just have one more breath. All right, let's go ahead and come up and release. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is our extended chair pose with a block. We're going to start with the block between the knees. Now, if you don't have a block, it's fine, right? Just think about squeezing in, all right? So we're going to start with our hands at heart. I don't know if you noticed, but I'm kind of moving forward in my chair. So we're going to bring our hands to heart, all right? We're going to take a deep breath in. And on an exhale, I'm going to act like I'm getting up off the chair and I'm going to squeeze that block, all right? You might be thinking, what does this have to do with the back? You'll see here in a minute. You know me, we add on, right? Okay, let's release that. Let's do that one more time, all right? Hands at heart. We're going to squeeze that block. Act like you're getting out of the chair, but don't. One more breath and release. Okay, this time we're going to lift our hips up off of the chair. So make sure that your feet are at a position when you push down, you've got purchase and you can lift up, okay? So we're going to take a deep breath in. On an exhale, we're going to lift up, squeeze the block. Now, if it feels okay for you, you're going to pull your belly in and you're going to extend your arms long. Squeeze the block, extend the arms long, and you should feel a nice stretch into the back. One more breath here. Bring your hands back to heart. Go ahead and have a seat and release. Can we do that one more time? All right, one more time, and that's it. All right, so here we go. Bring your hands to heart to start with. Squeeze that block. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, press into your chair pose. All right, inhale here. Exhale, extend your chair pose. Extending those arms, squeezing that block, looking down at the floor, no wrinkles in the neck. You should feel a good stretch into the back. Lengthening through that spine. One more breath. Bring your hands back to heart. Go ahead and have a seat. Excellent. Okay, let's set our block down. Okay, we're going to do a seated twist here. So normally we would just do this twist. I want us to try the version where we cross our leg over. So I'm going to take my left leg and I'm going to cross it over the right, okay? Then I'm going to take my right hand and I'm going to place it on the outside. So whichever leg is on top, the opposite hand is the one that you want to have here. The other hand is going to come back to the chair, lengthen through the spine, pull that shoulder back, and then turn and look over that shoulder. So it's a little different with the leg crossed. I don't know if you feel it, but I do. Let's come center, and then we're going to twist the other way. So this hand is going to come on the inside of that leg. This hand is going to come back to the chair, lengthen, pull the shoulder back, and twist. Don't forget, you always want to lengthen through the spine before you move the spine in any direction. All right, and release. Let's go to the other side, okay? All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the opposite hand and place it on the outside of that leg. Other hand is going to come back to the chair. We're going to lengthen through the spine, pull the belly in, turn, and look over the back of our chair. Let's release that and do the other side. And release. Very, very good. Okay, so we're going to grab our block. If you don't have a block, it's just fine. Don't worry about it. But we're going to put our block in the number one position between our feet. Okay? So let's extend through the spine. Go ahead and hold on to those thighs first and let your heart fall forward. We're going to place our hands on the block. Let your head fall. So I'm looking underneath my chair. Now, if it feels okay for you, you're going to take your hands off of the block. You're going to grab your elbows and let the upper body hang out. So gravity is helping, right? Your hands are coming down towards the mat. Your head is helping with that gravity. We have one more breath. Now go ahead and place your hands back on the block. Begin to work your way back up. Place your hands on your thighs. I'm just giving you a little bit of support for that low back, and roll it all the way up. How did that feel? I love ragdoll. I just think that one feels so good. Let's set our block aside. And we're going to come into a pyramid pose. So we're going to extend that right leg out, toes are up to the ceiling, lengthen through the spine, and let that heart fall forward. I'm holding onto my thighs here. Now I'm going to roll it up. And I'm going to do that again. This time, if it feels okay, as you extend through the spine, walk your hands down your leg. See how that feels, right? If that doesn't feel good, then keep your hands on your thighs for a nice supported pyramid pose. This one is going to give you maybe a little bit more stretch if that works for your body. One more breath. You're going to walk your hands back up that leg, bend the knee, and let's go to the other side. So I'm going to extend my leg long, toes to the ceiling, lengthen through the spine. Hang on to those thighs for the first one, right? Let that heart fall forward. How does that feel? Checking in. Let's go ahead and tuck our chin and roll up. Okay, and then this version, if you like that, extend the spine long. If that one felt good, let's walk our hands down the leg. Just a little different, right? Letting that heart fall just a little bit further. Keeping the back flat and keeping the legs straight. One more breath, and we're going to roll it up. And release. All right. So we're going to move into our seated pigeon. I'm going to take my ankle and let it rest right in front of that knee. I'm going to extend my spine long and let my heart fall forward. If you'll notice, my back is flat, right? So the flatter you keep your back, the more you're going to feel this one. All right, let's roll it up. And let's just move that, I call it fluttering the butterfly wing. It just kind of moves that joint a little bit. And let's do that one more time. Lengthen through the spine, let that heart fall forward. You feeling that glute? I am right here, yeah. All right, let's roll it up. Let's go to the other side. Lengthening through the spine, letting that heart fall forward. Oh gosh, this just feels so good to me. Taking just a moment here, just a few breaths. Okay, let's roll it up and just flutter that butterfly wing. And let's do it one more time. Extend and hinge. Go ahead and roll it up. All right. Let's put our feet on the floor. Go ahead and sit back in your chair. You can lean back now if you wish. Hands are resting lightly on the thighs. Flip those palms up to the ceiling. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. Close your eyes and breathe. Diffuse the situation. The answer to rude behavior is not more rude behavior. Retribution doesn't get you anywhere good, doesn't create anything useful. An insult in return for an insult is predictable and ineffective. You have the opportunity and the skill to be much more innovative and constructive than that. You can be the person to rise above it. You can chart a new, more beneficial path. Be the original and intentional person you are. Put forth a positive perspective rather than just reacting to a negative one. Yes, someone else has said or done something objectionable. But do you really want to create additional incitement and doubling down on that? Be the strong one, the reasonable one, the one who diffuses the situation. You'll vastly improve the possibility that something good will come of it. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. Let your right ear fall towards your right shoulder. Reach up with the right hand. Give the head a gentle tug as you press that left hand down towards the floor. Release it. Drop your chin towards your chest. Reach up with the hands, give the head a gentle tug. Release it. Left ear to left shoulder. Reach up with left hand. Give the head a gentle tug as you press that right hand down towards the floor. Release it. Look up just slightly. Open your mouth if you want to stretch your jaw. Bring your hands to your heart. Honoring one another, we say, Namaste. Thank you so much for joining, and I hope to see you next time. Remember, click that subscribe button and give me a comment.